Hey guys, just want to talk about training and goals and structure. We have a couple big races in the works with Sky Island, Salmagundi, and Big Bend coming up. And a lot of y'all are thinking about your goals and how to plan and how to train. And so I just had some thoughts I wanted to share. Okay, so one is I noticed myself, the more I run, the more I tend to compare um, to my best days. I want all my races, I want all my workouts to be personal best. And when you're new to running, that can happen, and that's great. But it's not going to happen the more you run. You know, it might happen here and there, or every so often when you have a good day, and that's awesome. But if you expect it on every workout or every race, then you're probably going to leave yourself frustrated. Think about like every day of your life. If you wanted every day to be the best day, I mean, that's pretty positive, and it's perspective. But I think that's the same with training. It's going to be different based off of what's going on in your life, other physical factors, and mental and spiritual. So look at it as a progress or as a process. And what I like to see is progress with my workouts. And so I don't like to use age as a limiter, but it is something to think about. The more I'm running, you know, I'm not necessarily going to put as much mileage into my week. I probably need some other activities to break it up, some strength work, maybe some more rehab stuff, or foam rolling, yoga type stuff, stretching. But, you know, I've been running for so long, like a lot of you guys, you don't necessarily need to put in that same amount of work that you did maybe like if you were in college or running in high school, or after that. So put it into perspective. So when you're choosing a race and setting your goals, I think it's good to be intentional and specific with your goals. I'm kind of the king of, in college, just running to see what I could do. And there is power to that, but if that's the way that, if that's the only way you look at your racing, is like, let's, you know, just run my best, it's hard to measure that. And I think I was doing that because I was afraid of failing, so I didn't want to put anything specific out there. And so I would encourage y'all, as you're looking at your goals, maybe it's not always about a time, but okay, it could be something else, like maybe you want to pass a certain amount of people in the last lap or in the last part of the race, or maybe you want to you know, run for somebody else, or maybe you want to have some spiritual motivation, or maybe it's, you know, for me, one of my races, which is that I would have an answer at every challenging moment that came along the way. And so it wasn't about a time or about a place, but something else that I could have another way to work through challenges as they arose. So and just remember, let go of the comparisons to the past or to other workouts. Use that stuff when it motivates you, but when it starts, you know, I see a lot of people getting beat down, like, oh, I'm not PRing anymore. What's the point? Stuff like that. And there's so much to running. Like, to me, I want to be running forever. Obviously, this is how I make a living, and I love it. But I do want to be running forever. So it's not just about one day or 1 year, but that I can continue to challenge myself every day and every week and every race. There's a different challenge, and it's going to look different from time to time. So once you kind of establish your goals, or if you need help, then I would say reach out to a coach or put a plan together. I know some people train like just feel it out every day, and I think there's some benefit to that. But if that's the only way you train, then when it comes to race day, you're not going to have a plan, because you're not going to just feel it out. Like, there's going to be a point where you're struggling and where you want to quit. And so if you don't run on some days where you don't want to run, then you're not going to work through that. And I like, a lot of my training is to help me prepare for challenges that come on race day. I might not always be in top shape for race day, but I've worked through a lot of things so that when I get to the race, I know that there's going to be some challenges that I'm going to have to work through. And I practice that during my training. So, and then next, invite some friends. You want people to train with, you want people to work out with you and to enjoy the journey with you. So I think it's more powerful when you have friends. And if they're not going to run it with you, then maybe they can just know what your goals are and they can support you. And if you have a coach on your team that you're working with, that's great. That's another layer of accountability and support. And then start training. So that's really it. Put in the work, and be mindful with it. It doesn't have to be more all the time. And think about your short-term goals. What do you want to do this week? What do you want to do in 3 months? What do you want in 6 months, 12, or in the next couple of years? You might have some really big goals. So keep everything in perspective. Some people are long-term planners, some are short-term. So, but it's good to set some intention for those races and those goals, so you take action, and you get there. So yeah, I think I would love to talk to any of you guys that are doing Big Bend. Sky Island is coming up in 2 months. So, but Salmagundy's in November, Big Bend is in January. But if you are looking for support, holler at us. We would love to help you. I would love to work with you. And, there's so many ways and different ways to train. It's not, a one-size-fits-all thing. And, so look forward to seeing you on the trail. And, y'all take care.